Disney Leung fam, it's Beth and welcome back to my channel. Sorry that this video is so late. I know it is technically now July. I was really hoping to get both my pin board and my pride tag done and kind of up over the weekend before June ended. But the weekend got a little busy and time kind of slipped away, so here we are. I will probably be having my pride tag go up tomorrow, and yeah, I think this is just gonna be another week where you get a bunch of kind of bonus content outside of my normal Monday and Thursday uploads. So today we have our June in July pin board. I thought about combining just June and July and doing like a large pin board, but then this one was already made and I really liked how it looked, so I decided to just keep them separate for you guys. Hopefully that is okay. I might have July actually be the last pin board of the month that I kind of make. Let me know if you guys want to see more, if I should keep going, or I don't know, we'll see. Or I might just start showcasing different collections or just something to kind of switch it up. But you will notice that my June pin board is very heavily themed a certain way, which is wedding themed, and that is because Johnny and I had our third wedding anniversary a couple of weeks ago. So of course I wanted to definitely represent that and kind of different aspects of it with this pin board. I've got also some different holidays represented and just a couple of different things that are important to us. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and flip you guys around so that I can show you guys all of the pins I chose this month. Okay, so here is the top half of my pin board. You will notice the definite theme, like I said, is wedding. Johnny and I just had our third wedding anniversary, like I just said, so I definitely wanted to showcase this. You'll notice that a lot of the pins are from Hong Kong as well. If you guys are new to this channel, you may or may not know that Johnny is from Hong Kong, and when we got married, we were lucky enough to have our Western ceremony here in the US, and then we flew to Hong Kong for all of his family that's over there. So definitely wanted to represent that with some of my favorite Chinese wedding pins. This one is really special to me because this is actually one of the first pins I ever bought before we even started pin collecting. I picked this one up when we were living in Hong Kong, when we were engaged, because I thought it was really pretty. And I mean, you'll kind of notice that theme as you look at all of these pins. The Hong Kong ones just are always gorgeous. They're always pretty much multi-layered, they've got shimmer, they've got glitter, they're just really shiny, pretty, well-made pins, so I definitely love all of these. This one here is a pin that I've picked up more recently. It's got Mickey and Minnie and they are wearing their Chinese wedding attire. In the background they have these little kind of Fai Chun or like paper things that you hang up that have the double happiness symbol on them. So not only do you use those during Chinese New Year, which I've talked about, but you also use stuff like that in weddings as well. There's also a peony flower down here, which is for good luck and love in marriage. So our wedding did have a lot of peonies in it. You'll see this one also has it as well. Definitely a big symbol for Chinese weddings. Even our wedding here in the US was kind of a mix of both Western and Chinese traditions. I had both a Western dress and a Chinese dress, so I love getting to see Minnie dressed up in her Chinese outfit. I'll probably insert a photo over here just so you can see what that looked like when I wore mine. Over here we have our first Western wedding one, although this one is also from Hong Kong Disney. I just really wanted to pick this up. I don't really have any US park kind of wedding pins, but I just wanted to get all of the different Hong Kong ones because they were just a little more special to me. And again, just super pretty with all of the glitter, the detail in her dress, and the little rhinestones around the heart. I thought that it was really adorable. So moving down here, this is a WDI pin. It is representing one of the giant Fai Chun, or kind of paper cutouts. Again, we have the double happiness symbol, which is for, of course, happiness in your love life and your wedding. And we've got the little silhouettes of Minnie and Mickey in them. So I thought that this was adorable. And again, This is one of the first pins that I ever picked up once I was into pin collecting, which would have been almost this time last year because I did start pin collecting last July, so we are almost on our 1-year anniversary of pins, which is crazy. Over here, we've got two different Japan wedding pins. This first one I love because, well, it is them in their Western outfits. It has a little rhinestone right here, but I have a wedding album that contains a lot of our photos and things in it. I showcased it in one of the earlier videos that I made on this channel, but this is what the cover looks like of the album. So I was really glad that I was also able to pick up the matching pin that goes with it. Over here I have, like I said, another Japanese wedding pin. This time they are wearing traditional Japanese clothing. I just love this one because obviously I collect Japan, and that is kind of how Johnny and I met, was through our interest of Japan. Over here we have another WDI pin. This one is Minnie Mouse. And this one is actually from the grand opening of Shanghai Disney, but I kind of keep her in my wedding collection just because she's got a peony on her bow and on her shoes. And like I said, peonies have a lot of symbolism for good luck and prosperity, and so they use that for the grand opening of Shanghai. But I used it because it was in our wedding, and Shanghai also opened a couple of days before we got married. We definitely tried to get over there when we went to do our Hong Kong portion of our wedding events, but unfortunately that did not work out, so still have yet to go, but definitely need to get over there soon. Hopefully maybe next year for their 4th anniversary. Down here is my last wedding pin. I love this pin because it is them more in their traditional Japanese wedding outfits. You have this gorgeous crane in the background, which you don't really see on a whole lot of pins. It is dated, and 2007 doesn't really mean anything to me, and I know I said I was going to get rid of all of the dated pins that I don't need, but I just think this one is really pretty, so I'm keeping it in my collection for now, but I mean, maybe eventually I'll find something to swap this out for. Okay, so now that we are done with the wedding section, I'm gonna move down below to the second half, but first in the middle here, I just wanted to include this little gelatoni pin. If you guys watched my Shanghai haul, you'll have seen me open him, but I just thought he was so cute with the little palm fronds or maybe banana leaves, some sort of summery leaf that's tropical behind him. To me, this definitely symbolized the beginning of summer, which we are officially now in, and so I just wanted to put him on my June pin board because of that. Moving down to this section, I'm actually going to start over here because I lied. I totally forgot that I did include one Western wedding pin, which is Robin Hood and Maid Marian. This is from the fairly recent DSSH release, and I just love this. I love Robin Hood, and it is such an underrated movie to me, but I think that this one is really pretty and special, so I wanted to include it with all of my kind of Asian wedding pins, just to have something representing the more Western side of our wedding with her in her white wedding dress. I just think that this pin is really sweet. So over here I have our Max and Goofy Father's Day 2019. This was just released in the parks earlier in June, obviously for Father's Day, but I was so happy that it included both Goofy and Max because they are definitely my favorite father-son combination. I picked this one up even though it is dated and it is Father's Day, and obviously Johnny is not a dad, but I love Max, and I do have a really tiny kind of side collection of Max pins, so that's where this is gonna go, at least for now. Again, maybe I'll end up trading it or getting rid of it because it is dated and the date doesn't really mean anything to us, but it just made me really happy to see the two of them together on this pin, so I grabbed it. In the middle here, of course, you guys all know we are super big on Toy Story, so I had to include a couple of Toy Story pins for the release of Toy Story 4. Oh my gosh, I hope all of you guys have seen that movie by now. It is just so good. I did a whole review on it that's hopefully spoiler free. We might actually go see it a second time just because, yeah, I just really loved it. But our first pin here, this was a special Times Square release pin. So you had to go to the Disney store in New York City, and they actually have this really big screen on top of the store like this. So to get this pin, you actually had to pay to do like a photo experience where then your face and photo would appear on the outside of the store for a little bit. I'm not sure that I would have personally wanted to do that. I feel like I don't need to see myself up on a billboard, but luckily I was able to trade for this pin because I really wanted to get it because it has Forky on it, who is definitely one of my new favorite characters. Do have a small Forky pin collection going, so I'll have to show you guys that at some point, but I'm really glad that I was able to pick this pin up. And then over here, of course, had to show our love for our favorite Toy Story characters. This is a pin that was released in Paris last month, so my pickup person was able to get me a couple and send them my way. I love this one. It is a really nice size. I love that it's got the 3 of them and that it's a cutout with no background, because that's always my favorite type of pin. So yes, definitely love this little alien pin, even though they weren't really in Toy Story 4. And our last section is down here. I definitely had to include some Pride pins just because June is Pride Month. And like I said, I will have my Pride pin tag going up tomorrow. None of these pins are going to be in it, so definitely come back and see which other ones that I chose to represent. The first one here is a DSSH pin. It is Kermit, who I feel like you never really get to see on pins, but this is the Rainbow Connection, and well, I guess it's not really Pride themed per se. I just really love this pin because it is a stained glass rainbow in the background. I think it is super pretty, so I thought it was fitting to still include this. Plus, I mean, who doesn't love Rainbow Connection? So here we have an open edition pin. This one is still in the parks now, but it is all bedazzled with different rhinestones to make the rainbow, and I just think that this one is really pretty, so had to include this because this is definitely more Pride inspired. And then our last Pride pin over here, this is actually a WDI pin. They did a series of a couple of different Mickeys that they released, and this one is him in a rainbow style, so of course I thought that was fitting as well. And over here is our last pin for our June pin board. This one was just released in the parks about a week ago, and it says Summer 2019, so of course definitely fitting. And it is Pua and Hey Hey. I thought that this one was really sweet looking. Again, if you guys are kind of new here, you may or may not know that Johnny actually has a Hey Hey collection. So definitely had to pick this one up to add to it, especially because there really has not been a lot of Hey Hey releases recently, just since Moana is now a couple of years old. So we were really excited to see another new pin come out that we could add to our collection. And that is it for June's pin board. Like I said, I will be doing a July one just because one of my favorite Japanese holidays is this month, so I do want to kind of show you guys some pins representing that and talk about it a little bit. I know a lot of you guys like hearing about Japan, so always happy to do that because that is definitely my expertise and knowledge kind of wheelhouse there. Love Japan. So alright guys, let me know if we are pin twins on anything or what your favorite pin of this month was. I will talk to you guys all down in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow for my Pride pin tag. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!